The 2019 Berlin coin or pass came out for the major, and you're required to play at least one game on each map. So I thought I'd run through a couple of very useful bits of knowledge for you on each map, starting with everyone's favourite, and that is Vertigo. Probably the map you know the least about. Or some very useful bits of utility I've seen Team Liquid using is going to be this retake utility for the B site. The first one's going to be this smoke here, top of the leftmost fan on the far building. Just coming out of CT spawn here, it's just corner here. You can see where I am. This smoke's going to smoke off this area here, getting rid of all these nasty crossfires and peaks that the T side can make either from these stairs or up here as you're trying to cross to get towards that bomb. And then to accompany this, from the same spot, they're going to be throwing a Molotov. It's going to look something like this. You're going to be aiming at this angled part just to the right of this, on the top of this fencing, and what you're going to do is you're going to do a jump through and tap your forward key, most likely W at the same time. So it's going to look a little bit something like that. That's going to come out the back here, spread all the way along as well as behind these default boxes here, forcing anyone playing either of these positions to either just face you for a fight somewhere like this or out wide like so, or they're going to have to try and cross all the way along here and get to here. And if you've got a teammate already at these generators, that's basically going to be an instant death for them. Now, if that Molotov look a little bit hard for you, it does work for both tick rates, by the way, that Molotov. You can just aim off to the left of this pole here, so aim a little bit something like this. It's not as consistent though. Sometimes it doesn't spread out here. This one, you can see this one's not the best. It does sometimes spread, sometimes doesn't. So that's why the walking forward one's more consistent. You can give that one a whirl, but I'd really recommend working out how to walk forward and throw that Molotov at the same time. On to something you're probably a little bit more familiar with in train. Can be a little bit difficult on the T side to know exactly what to do with your Molotov. So some very simple ones you can throw, which will help you exec onto the B site, is going to be this one here. Run forward into this railing, find this light above the B site. Doesn't really matter, it's pretty general where about it has to be. Aim on the right hand side of it and up to this first level of railing you see. So it's going to be a little bit something like that. What this is going to do is Molotov off this back pop or back first train. I'm sure we've all been killed from there before, forcing that player out one of the two directions or backwards where he's a lot more exposed. Or alternatively, if you prefer, you can find this dirty patch on the wall, the little crack to the left of it. And you're going to find again that opening onto the site. Just run forward a little bit and throw that one as well. That's going to Molotov off the back bomb area, restricting rotations and such from the CT side. But also that's a very powerful spot you can play as that CT player. So there's two great Molotovs there. And when paired with the smoke for inside, you've basically got an exec all by yourself. So you can do something very simple, just like that. Run forward, Molotov off that back pop area, flash over the top, and you've basically thrown a full exec by yourself just with one lot of utility. Your teammates can go and gun up. Very useful for those pugs. On Overpass, we all know that heaven smokes. That's not going to be a problem, your team having that smoke there towards heaven on the B site. But if you play with just one friend and you show him this other smoke, it can be very useful when attacking this B site. So first smoke's going to be just in this corner of monster here. Just run into it. You're going to find this pillar here, go 2 bricks across to the left, so hopefully you can see that line there in the video, and then up to where this dot is, you're going to aim. First smoke's going to be that one there, and the other one's going to be back here behind the barrel, or actually, more importantly, behind this clipping here, and again, you're going to find the traffic light, just aim up slightly from the top corner like you're seeing me do there, and that's going to be a great smoke wall for the back of the site here. You can see the CT's really going to have nothing left to do, and with heaven smoked off as well, it really limits the angles and how many CT players can help out their teammates who are already locked on the B sites. It's a very simple exec, does require a couple of smokes, but hopefully you have at least one friend you're playing these matchmaking games with. On Dust 2, everyone loves the Xbox smoke. A lot of people know the one from back this corner here, which is useful late round. But at the start of a round, if you get a semi-decent spawn, you can just run up to this corner here. You can aim at the wall behind the Xbox, and then up to this beaming here really close to you. So it's going to look a little bit just like that. Obviously, you want to be really fast out of spawn, and that's just going to be a jump throw as well. And that's a very simple way to smoke Xbox very early in the round, particularly useful if you want to go up short relatively quickly. The other thing is maybe you're just taking map control, you want to go mid to B or something. One thing very useful is this Molotov here, so just coming out of unders, aim at this top corner here, and just let that one fly there. It's going to be a great one just for clearing these close angles, so then when you do drop your mid to B smoke, you don't have to worry about these angles. You get a flash over the top, come out, be relatively comfortable, you won't be fighting anyone until you start seeing these entrances to the B site. So that's Dust 2, nice and quick and sweet. Back to the maps you might not want to play, but you'll probably end up playing at least one in the near future. It's going to be Nuke. And one thing you'll see a lot of players do is early round, they want to look for this kind of pick here in a pug, or maybe try and stop anyone getting to T red for the CTs, maybe to support the player down there. But if you're a CT player, you want to do some early nade damage, you know a player goes up there a lot. A couple of good nades you can do is this one, if you're playing this annex position, just run into this wall here, aim slightly off to the right, or to the left, that'd probably be, and at the top of the wall there, and that's going to land up here, so that's going to do a great chunk of damage to anyone on top of this silo area. And then once again, if you have a mate, you can potentially even go for the kill. So come out of spawn here, quickly break both of these glass, and then put your crosshair around about here. For me, I put the right hand of my crosshair on the edge of that little bolt there and throw that one like so. And you can see that one's going to get the kill. It's actually going to fly straight through this. These don't exist at all. You can throw things straight through them. So that's a great little double nade if you have a friend, or just a great way to do damage if you're the A player or that Annex player at the start of a round. On Inferno, I've got some pretty useful bits of utility for you. First, I'm going to be most likely after plant on the A site. If you want to smoke off mini and you're the player in the pit, rather than potentially peeking out here and getting shot by someone pinned on your position, you can back yourself into the corner here, aim at the top of this lamp here, and just do a jump throw. And what that's going to do is bounce off this back wall on the 95, and it's going to perfectly smoke off this position here. And you can see there's no gap for anyone to see down here, either side here, so it's perfect. You don't have to expose yourself, and really, really useful in those after plant scenarios. Now, on B, you're not quite on the site, but you want to be throwing utility towards that new box area. You can do it one of two ways. You can throw yourself into this corner here. You're going to find this first dip just to the right of where the roof disappears for you, and just aim up to the top a little bit. So I am like so, and you're going to do a jump throw. And this one's going to bounce down here. It's going to spread around the new box, and it's going to force anyone out into the open. You can see I almost killed myself, and he's not going to be able to jiggle that as you would like to do. Now, maybe one thing you have done is you haven't thrown that Molotov, but you can see the player's there and he's trying to fight you and he's being particularly annoying. You have other choke points smoked off, so you're not too worried about it. You can, anywhere along this back wall here, just aim on top of this yellow here, just right on top, a little bit like that, and that's going to be a perfect Molotov for that new box position. So if he's low or you want to force him out, you can sometimes just chill for a second, throw that Molotov, or if you know he's really, really low, you can even just maybe chuck a nade in there. It's not going to do heaps of damage, but it's going to be a good chunk to anyone trying to hide behind this position. So that's Inferno, some useful bits of utility. Now, if you spend much time on Reddit, you've probably seen this utility set from Gobi to get deeper aim main control, the smoke over the top, then the Molotov nice and close. It's a great way just to mix up your aim main take, maybe catch a player off guard. The best way to do this is just get towards the end of this triple box here, turn around to find the gap between this pillar and triple box. You want to be running forward, and you want to find yourself about this position doing your jump throw, and you want to find your crosshair about here on the edge of this pillar and around this height here. And you're going to do a jump through, let that one fly over the top, and then your Molotov you're going to throw is going to be between this point here and that point there, and you're going to be running forward still and throwing that. So all in one, you can see my crosshair placement. Sometimes you have to adjust yourself. You're going to come out of spawn, run a little bit like this, do the jump throw over the top, and then Molotov in the middle there. And then that's going to fly over the top. Molly, smoke that one out. And you see this one's not the best. It's a little bit inconsistent sometimes, but it will force anyone to come through the smoke if you're a T player trying to take this. And you see all my vision's gone as I'm coming through. So I don't think you can jump on this pot or something because they can potentially see you, but it's a good way to get a little bit more control and deny a lot of information from the T side. But that is all for the video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you all in the next one.